because they're looking a bus central couple, and all the families here. June. With Mom, she's gonna call me Point B, because that way, at least she knows she can always find her way to me. And I'm gonna paint the solar systems on the back of her hand, so she has to know the entire universe before she can say, oh, I know that on the back of my hand. And she's gonna learn that life will hit you hard in the face and wait for you to get back up just to kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. And there's hurt here. It cannot be fixed by band-aids or poetry. So the first time she realizes that Wonder Woman isn't coming, I'll make sure she knows she doesn't have to wear the cape all by herself. Because no matter how wide you stretch your fingers, your hands will always be too small to catch all the pain you want to heal. Believe me, I've tried. And baby, I'll tell her, don't stick your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. I've done it a million times. You're just smelling for smoke to follow the trail back to the burning house so you can find the boy who lost everything in the fire, to see if you can save him. Or to find the boy who started the fire in the first place, to see if you can change him. But I know she won't listen, so I'll always keep an extra supply of chocolates and rain boots nearby, because there is no heartbreak that chocolate can't fix. All right, there are some heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that is what the rain boots are for, because rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to look at the world through the underside of a glass-bottom boat, to look at the galaxies that exist at the pinpoint of the human mind. Because, well, that's the way my mom taught me. That there'll be days like this, when you open your hands to catch and all that's left is blisters and bruises. When you try to step out of the phone booth to fly, and the very people you're trying to save are the ones that are stepping on your cape. When your boots fill with rain and you're up to your knees in disappointment. Those are the days you have all the more reason to say thank you. Thank you, because there's nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shoreline, no matter how many times it's been sent away. And you'll put the wind in winsome. You'll put the star in starting over and over. And no matter how many landmines erupt in a minute, make sure your mind lands on the beauty of this funny place called life. And yes, on a scale of 1 to over-trusting, I'm pretty darn naive, but I want my daughter to know that this world is made out of sugar. It'll crumble easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Baby, I'll tell her, remember, your mama's a warrior and your papa's a warrior, and you are the girl with big eyes and small hands who never stop asking for more. Honey, remember, good things come in threes. And well, so do bad things. And always apologize when you've done something wrong, but never apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice is small, but never stop. singing. And when they finally hand you heartache, and they slip war and hatred under your door, when they give you handouts on street corners of cynicism and defeat, you tell them that they really ought to meet your mother. Welcome everybody. Happy Mother's Day. I see a lot of moms in the audience today. Thank you for coming. Is the PowerPoint still on? Turn it on. So, my sermon topic today is superheroes of unconditional love. What is unconditional love? What is love, first? Well, let's look. In Corinthians 1:13, 4-7, it says, love is patient, love is kind, and is not jealous. Love does not brag and is not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own, is not provoked, does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes and endures all things. Love never fails. But now faith, hope, love abide these three. But the greatest of these is love. So there's different types of love, right? There's God's love, there's brother-sister love, there's motherly love. And this is one of my favorite passages on God's love by Reverend Jana. God's love is stronger than the sun. When the sun rises in the morning, the buds of plants turn towards the sun. Likewise, God's love is the source of life, the source of our original mind, and the core source of ideal elements. That is the way it is. Love fills the place where God dwells. It's a place where the more you give, the more desire you have to give. And the more you receive, the more desire you have to give 10 million times what you have received. You'll feel this explosive stimulation because you can give more and receive more. A stimulation where all of your cells feel like they've exploded. God's love is like that. Right? Rumi, a Persian poet, has a way with words. And he says, be certain, in the religion of love, there are no believers or unbelievers. Love embraces all. It is love that holds everything together. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So giving love is hard. And sometimes receiving love is even harder. Because we have scar tissue. We put up these barriers to protect ourselves. Our task is not to seek love, but to find the barriers and pull them away. most beautiful, patient love. When looking up quotes, I Googled quotes on mother's love, and millions of quotes came up, like thousands. I was like, all right, I gotta pick a few. To a child's ear, mother is magic in any language. A mother's love is instinctual, unconditional, and forever. And my favorite, I think this really describes a mother's love, is a mother's love is peace. It need not be acquired. It need not be deserved. So, what is love to you? Have you ever tried to describe your love for someone or your love for something? Man, I love chocolate. It is like, I can't even describe it. Isn't that, I love blank. I get this feeling I can't even describe. Right? Do you feel love now? Are you feeling God's love surrounding you right now? Anybody? Sometimes? Does anybody sometimes find it hard to feel God's love, to feel love in the moment? Just kind of having one of those days where nothing's going right, and it's hard to feel love. Anybody? I have days like that, definitely. Definitely. This love that God has, that our parents have for us, it's endless. A mother's love is endless. Before we can speak as babies, we aren't able to verbally reciprocate this love that our mother gives us. And by the time we're toddlers, our two favorite words are probably mom and no. Still, we are alive today, which also means love is patient. Very patient. So my sermon topic, superheroes of unconditional love. I'm going to break this down. Right. So superheroes, we think of what? What qualities does your superhero have? You can throw out some. Save the world, a savior. What other? Strong. Special capacities. Helpers. Brave. Protectors. They wear a cape. Very nice. Do they also wear tights? My superhero wears tights. They're anonymous. Sometimes you just see the entity, right? Are they good looking? Do they have lots of muscle? You know, are they super genius? Lots of technology, right? Super intelligent, super caring, super sacrificial. We all have different superheroes, right? So think about yours. Who's your superhero? And we talked a lot about love, read from the Bible, from our moon, from poets, from unknown people, from philosophers. Like I said before, love is hard to describe. When you're in love, this place, right? You feel, your cells explode, right? Do you get a tingly feeling when you're in love, when you're loved? Kind of sometimes. Sometimes I recently got blessed, so I'm in this honeymoon page, and he's awesome. I love him, right? He can't do any wrong. That's that's where I'm right now. But so I have this tingly feeling all the time. But love is also a really vulnerable place, right? Because you are taking your heart and you're offering it. person you want to love. So it's really vulnerable. Does anybody feel vulnerable? That's why it makes loving hard. It's hard to love somebody fearlessly. And love, they say it's a universal language, but there's a lot of dialects, right? That's a good one, actually. There's a lot of different dialects. Like, for example, I want to go out with my friends tonight, even though I have a test tomorrow. And my mom tells me, no, you can't. And my dad definitely tells me, no, you can't. And, man, my parents, they don't understand me, they don't love me. But then I wake up the next morning with a full night's rest. I go into class that has that test, and I do really well. And the friends that had gone out the night before are really tired. They walk in and they don't do well. And I don't see the connection. I'm just smart, so I passed the test. I didn't see that it was because of my mother's love the night before that got me to that place. Right? And as children, as a child to a mom, I was gonna dye my hair rainbow, but I'm only gonna dye it one color for you because I love you. See what I'm doing? See what I'm sacrificing? Imagine, I'm only dyeing my hair purple, Mom. It's because I love you. Instead of, 4 or 5 colors. See, right? All the mom like, that's not love. Do you see the translation, that miss? We're trying to give. Mom, I love you. It's just purple. Because it reminds me of you. It's a tribute to you, right? Don't worry, I'm not going to dye my hair purple. And no, I want you to stay and get a full night's rest because I know you'll be tired in the morning. I want you to succeed. I want to lift you up so you can be the best you can be. That's what parents are saying all the time. It's just in another dialect. It's another accent or language that we don't understand fully. So in love, there's this translation. Something that's completely universal. A hug or a kiss. Or a pat on the back or a silent support. Or a loud support. Moms are the best cheerleaders, right? Dads too. You can be loud, it's okay. So now that we have love and we have superheroes. Superheroes of love, right? We can all be that. Being a superhero, usually people see superheroes, they go into dangerous situations. They're fearless. They have this capacity to think beyond themselves to save other people or to help a situation. That is where the unconditional part comes in. We talked about before the barriers that we feel. They become, it makes it harder and harder to take our heart and give it to people. Because it was stepped on a couple of times. One person ate it. It's delicate. Superheroes of unconditional love. Love fearlessly. They love fearlessly and they receive fearlessly. Has anyone ever, gotten a compliment like, wow, you look amazing today. You must have done everything different. Something. And then you say, oh, no. Nothing's really changed. Thank you, but no. Has anybody ever said that? Thank you, but no. I don't want to take the compliment. No, you all receive compliments really well. Oh, that's fantastic. I have that problem. My husband actually gets really upset at me because he's like, just take the compliment and say thank you and be done. But for me, oh, no, oh, thank you, but no, it's not. I'm not that big of a deal. It's not that much. Right? Because we have these barriers. Nope, I'm not going to take that. Deflecting that one. And strangers, every day, they'll say, oh, wow, you look great. Hold the door open, oh, thank you, but no, I got it, you walk first, It's hard to receive love. Think about it. Because no, it's not hard to receive love. Through your life, trying to receive love, and receive love when you need it, when you want it, when you don't want it. Receiving love. You have to receive to be able to give. Imagine you have a big tub, which is your body, right? And you're giving and you're pouring out all of it. You're tipping over to pour out your love. And then you stand back for a second. And people are like, all right, she's giving really a lot. Let's add in. But you don't want anything? You won't receive love to refill your bucket? Soon you're going to run on empty. So receiving fearlessly is part of loving unconditionally. If that makes sense. The way we receive love is different than the person next to you, than the person behind you, in front of you. Some people don't have people in front of them, that's okay. It becomes very personal, our love. And hard to give and hard to receive. But there's always this cycle, right? Love is I don't know, for a while, I loved unconditionally my dog. And he understood me. He always knew what to say. He never said anything, he kind of just barked and looked at me. And I felt love from the dog. But there was no reciprocation. And growing up, you realize you find love in strange places. Right? You find love when you see somebody walking ahead of you and there's some litter on the ground and they end up picking it up and throwing the garbage. You find a connection. Wow, that person. Beautiful in that moment. Love is fleeting. It's endless but fleeting. Thinking of love and processing love, digesting love. Love is not all flowers and daisies. Right? Sometimes love feels like your boots filled with rain. Sometimes it feels like disappointment. I don't know, for me, most of the time it's euphoric and indescribable. It makes me want to frolic in fields. But that's what my love looks like. That's what I feel. Mother's love to a child. I only know on the child's part so far, but it's something very, very sacred. This parent-child relationship, right? This back and forth, this figuring out, what did you just say? What? have a lot of those sometimes? Some people. There's a lot of work that has to be done with love. But don't ever feel that you don't deserve it. This unconditional love doesn't only go out to people, it goes in to you. This unconditional love of yourself. I'm an avid yoga practice yoga. Does anybody else do yoga? Maybe tried it, heard of it? My instructor is, I don't know where she gets it. She always says the right thing. And I always feel like she knew how my day went, so she's talking to me, just to me. And one time, she said, it was kind of casual, we were all in down with dogs, whatever. And she said, there's no judgment here. I am not judging you. Your peers, your yogis aren't judging you. If you think you can't do something, it's because of you. It's because of whatever's going on in here, and in here is telling you, is putting up barriers. Stopping yourself from being able to do that headstand or being able to do that balance. The judgment often comes from inside. Wow. I had such an epiphany moment because I realized it was true. We always say, live for the sake of others, sacrifice, love all you can. But that has to be on the foundation of living, of loving yourself, being at peace and harmony with the decisions you've made in the past, decisions you will make, and decisions in the future. Life is life. Of course, we can always be better. Right? There's always, my dad's favorite phrase is, oh, well, there's always room for improvement. Which is true. There's always room to love more. There's always room to love yourself more. Filling up that bucket with love. Receiving love. That's, I think, how you create relationships, right? Is that give and receive? Yeah, right? Yeah, give and receive, not give and take. Because both are offerings. Yeah. So I just want to leave you with a few words. Reverend Moon, again, my favorite passage. And when I say this, think of who you love. Who maybe you need to love a little more. Think of yourself. Think of the love, the infinite love that we have to give is also infinite love that we can receive. So in this, think of your mom, think of your wife, your husband, your son, your daughters, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, a friend, a best friend, a frenemy, a coworker. Think of them. God's love is stronger than the sun. When the sun rises in the morning, the buds of plants turn towards the sun. Likewise, God's love is the source of life, the source of our original mind, and the core source of ideal elements. That Thank you so much for today. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for each breath we take. Each breath we are able to love and love again. To give and to receive the beautiful offering. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for this glorious life, for the good times and for the times that help us to grow. Help us to grow our minds and our hearts. Heavenly Parent, we want you to feel joy. We want you to be surrounded in our love. This love that you need, that we need, is the essence of who we are, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for the mothers of this world, for the caregivers, the lovers. I really want to send a lot of support. We love you, Heavenly Parent. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you that we could all gather here together, safe and sound and in love. I really want to offer this up to you. Pray this in my name, Jana, Iparaguire, and Kessler Looking, the Bus Central couple, and all the families here